Have you ever looked in the mirror and felt that something greater is trapped inside of you, waiting to be unleashed? That whisper in your heart that says, you were meant for more? You're not crazy. That voice is right. But here's the painful truth. Most people will never become the best version of themselves, not because they weren't born for greatness, but because they ignored the rules that lead to it. In this speech, I'm going to share 8 unshakable rules that every world changer, every high performer, every legend has followed, even if they never told you. These rules are not motivational fluff. They are the line between a life of excuses and a life of impact. If you watch until the end, you won't just feel inspired. You'll be equipped with a strategy to dominate your potential and become the person you were always meant to be. You will never become the best version of yourself until you know why you exist. Purpose is the foundation of greatness. It is the compass that directs your energy, the fire that fuels your passion, and the standard that shapes your decisions. Without purpose, you're not living, you're just reacting. You wake up, go through routines, chase what others say matters, but deep inside, something feels off. You may be busy, but you're not fulfilled. Productive, but not aligned. Successful by the world's standards, but disconnected from yourself. The first and most critical rule for becoming your best is to clarify your life's purpose. You were not born to merely survive. You weren't created to just pay bills, follow trends, or fit into a mold someone else designed. You were born with a specific assignment, a unique contribution that only you can fulfill. And the tragedy of life is not death. It's living your whole life never knowing what that assignment was. People waste years climbing ladders, only to realize it was leaning against the wrong wall. They accumulate things, degrees, money, titles, only to feel empty. That's what happens when you achieve without purpose. You win the race, but lose your soul. Clarity of purpose doesn't come from the outside. It comes from within. It's not in your paycheck, your status, or even your talent. It's in your design. Look at anything in creation, a seed, a bird, a phone, a car. Its design reveals its function. So it is with you. Your personality, your passions, your pain, your perspective, these are all clues. They're not random. They're part of a divine code pointing you to your purpose. But here's the thing. You must slow down and become intentional enough to decode it. Life won't scream your purpose at you. It whispers. And most people are too distracted to hear it. Until you define your why, you will keep saying yes to the wrong things. You'll keep wasting energy trying to impress people who aren't even aligned with your destiny. You'll be easily discouraged because you'll confuse activity with progress. Purpose brings focus. It helps you filter out the noise. You stop chasing everything because now you know what's yours. When you know your why, your what becomes powerful, and your how becomes possible. Purpose also fuels perseverance. Life will test you. The journey to becoming the best isn't a straight road, it's a battlefield. There will be seasons of isolation, rejection, and setbacks. Without purpose, you'll quit. You'll take failure personally. But when you're rooted in purpose, storms can shake you, but they won't break you. You keep going because you're not driven by applause or comfort. You're driven by assignment. And here's the most powerful part. Purpose is not just about you. The greatest tragedy isn't just that people die without purpose, it's that generations miss out on what they were supposed to receive from you. Someone's breakthrough is locked inside of your obedience to purpose. Someone's healing, inspiration, or transformation is waiting on you to get clear and start living with intention. This is bigger than you. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for everything to make sense. Don't wait for the perfect time. Start asking the hard questions now. Why am I here? What breaks my heart that I feel called to fix? What makes me come alive? What problem was I designed to solve? The answers aren't out there, they're in you. And once you find them, you'll never again settle for less than the best version of yourself. Because when purpose is clear, your best becomes inevitable. Time is life. Every second that passes is a piece of your existence that you will never get back. You can recover money, rebuild relationships, and restore health to a degree, but time, once spent, is gone forever. That's why those who become the best in any area of life are not just talented, lucky, or connected. They are masters of time. They understand that time is the most precious currency on earth, and they treat it as such. You don't become the best by doing more. You become the best by doing what matters most. The difference between average and excellent isn't just effort, it's focus. It's how you allocate your hours, your minutes, your attention. Every single day, life gives you the same 24-hour deposit as everyone else. The question is, what are you doing with it? Are you spending time, or are you investing it? You must understand that every distraction has a cost. Every minute spent scrolling, binge watching, gossiping, or procrastinating is a minute stolen from your growth, your vision, and your legacy. The world is not short on dreamers. It's short on doers who know how to manage their time. Most people don't fail because they lack ability. They fail because they waste time doing the wrong things with the wrong people in the wrong environments and then wonder why they're not growing. Time mastery begins with priorities. You cannot say yes to everything and expect to become excellent at anything. The most successful people on earth are not available to everyone and everything. They know their priorities and they guard their schedule with the same intensity that others guard their money. They understand the true cost of a yes is all the no's that come with it. Saying yes to mindless entertainment means saying no to self-education. Saying yes to convenience often means saying no to growth. To master your time, you must first master your awareness. Be brutally honest about where your hours are going. Track your day. Observe yourself like an outsider. How much of your time is reactive, responding to notifications, impulses, and distractions? And how much of it is intentional, pursuing your purpose, your goals, your growth? If you don't measure your time, you'll always mismanage it. And mismanaged time is wasted life. People often say, I don't have time. But that's rarely the truth. The truth is, you haven't made time for what you say matters. Because if something is truly a priority, it will show up in your schedule. If your goals don't have space in your daily routine, they're just wishes. And wishes don't build greatness. Habits do. Consistent, intentional, disciplined use of time is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. You also need to protect your mornings. Your mornings are sacred. They set the tone for your entire day. Don't start your day with chaos, noise, or other people's demands. Start with clarity. Start with gratitude, vision, planning, or prayer. Whatever keeps you grounded and focused, the way you start determines how you perform. Time mastery also means learning to rest strategically. Being your best doesn't mean being busy 24/7. It means knowing when to grind and when to recharge. Rest is not laziness, it's wisdom. But rest must be earned, scheduled, and used to refuel, not escape. Rest with purpose, not with guilt. In the end, your life will become a reflection of how you used your time. Time is the soil from which all success grows. Master it, and you master your future. Waste it, and no amount of talent or potential can save you. You don't need more hours, you need more intention. Because once you learn to manage your time, you'll begin to manage your life. And that is the first real step to becoming your best. Every human being has desires. We all want comfort, pleasure, success, recognition, love, and validation. These desires are not evil, they're natural. But what separates those who rise to greatness from those who remain average is their ability to discipline those desires. Because when your desires control you, you lose control of your life. The person who cannot say no to their impulses will never say yes to their highest potential. Discipline is the bridge between who you are now and who you could become. And that bridge is built daily, choice by choice. Every time you choose long-term purpose over short-term pleasure, you're building strength. Every time you delay gratification, you're training your mind to lead your body. And every time you resist what feels good in the moment for what will feel right in the future, you're proving that you are no longer a slave to your desire. Most people don't fail because they lack goals. They fail because their habits don't support those goals. They want results but aren't willing to suffer the process. They crave achievement but resist the discipline required to earn it. They want the rewards without the restraint. But here's the truth. Success is not given, it's earned. And the price is discipline. Undisciplined people are led by moods. They only show up when they feel like it. They quit when things get hard. They chase convenience. They justify laziness. And slowly, silently, they build a life that is comfortable but deeply unfulfilled. Discipline is the opposite. It shows up regardless of feelings. It shows up tired. It shows up frustrated. It shows up in the rain, in the silence, in the doubt. And because it keeps showing up, it wins. To discipline your desires, you have to first become aware of them. What are your weak points? What tempts you to procrastinate, to numb, to give in? Is it food, scrolling, approval from others, addictions, the desire to be entertained instead of educated? Once you know where you're vulnerable, you can build systems to protect yourself. Self-restraint doesn't start in the moment of temptation. It starts in your structure, your habits, your environment. You must also understand that saying no to something now is not deprivation. It's direction. It's you refusing to let short-term satisfaction rob you of long-term transformation. It's you choosing growth over comfort. And eventually, what once felt like sacrifice will feel like standard. What was once hard will become your normal. That's the reward of discipline. It reshapes your identity. Discipline isn't about being harsh with yourself. It's about being honest. It's about confronting the parts of you that are sabotaging your progress. It's about choosing what you want most over what you want now. You cannot become the best while living at the mercy of your impulses. Excellence requires structure. Mastery requires self-denial. And fulfillment requires that you stop living only for the moment and start living for your mission. It's not enough to have vision. You need habits that align with it. You need to wake up every day and remind yourself, I am not my urges. I am not my excuses. I am not here to coast. I am here to grow. And growth never happens without resistance. Your body will resist. Your emotions will resist. But you are stronger than your feelings. You are not here to be ruled by your appetite. You are here to rule over it. The people who change the world are not the most gifted. They are the most disciplined. While others sleep in, they rise early. While others waste hours, they invest theirs. While others indulge, they restrain. And that consistent, quiet discipline builds a momentum that becomes unstoppable. If you can discipline your desires, you can direct your destiny. And that is the difference between living average and living exceptional. The people around you are either building you or breaking you. They are either watering your potential or draining your purpose. The truth is, you become a reflection of the environment you immerse yourself in. Your associations are powerful because every conversation, every relationship, every shared moment has the ability to influence your mindset, your standards, and ultimately your destiny. If you want to become the best version of yourself, you cannot afford to casually choose your company. You must be intentional. Because people carry energy, belief systems, habits, and limitations. And whether you realize it or not, those traits are contagious. Spend enough time with people who constantly complain, and you'll start seeing problems everywhere. Spend enough time with people who challenge themselves, and suddenly your excuses feel uncomfortable. Who you spend time with is shaping who you are becoming. Many people remain stuck in mediocrity not because they lack talent, but because they are surrounded by people who normalize small thinking. If everyone around you is content with being average, then striving for greatness will feel unnecessary, even strange. But if you surround yourself with driven, disciplined, growth-minded individuals, then excellence becomes the standard, not the exception. Your circle creates your ceiling. If your closest 5 friends aren't stretching, improving, or evolving, chances are neither are you. Guarding your associations doesn't mean becoming arrogant or isolating yourself. It means valuing your purpose enough to protect your mind from sabotage. It means understanding that loyalty to the wrong people is betrayal to your own future. Not everyone deserves access to your time, your energy, or your vision. Just because someone has history with you doesn't mean they belong in your destiny. Some relationships are meant for a season, not a lifetime. The mistake is dragging expired relationships into a future they were never designed to fit. It takes courage to redefine your circle. It takes maturity to walk away from comfort in order to protect your calling. You might be misunderstood. People may say you've changed. And you know what? That's exactly the point. Growth demands change. And anyone who punishes you for evolving was never for your elevation in the first place. You don't need to announce your growth, just move in silence. Adjust your environment and let your results speak. Be mindful of what people speak into your life. Words are seeds. People who are constantly negative, critical, sarcastic, or fearful will plant doubt in your soil. And over time, that doubt will grow into hesitation, insecurity, and paralysis. Choose to be around people who speak life, who speak truth, who challenge you to rise, not retreat. Iron sharpens iron, not plastic. Stop keeping company with people who dull your edge. You also need mentors, not just friends who comfort you, but voices that confront you. People who have been where you want to go. People who live with intention, who walk with integrity, who don't just talk success, but embody it. You don't have to know them personally to learn from them. Books, podcasts, videos. These are also associations. Choose to consume what cultivates your calling. And finally, become the kind of person others want to be around. Be the encourager. Be the example. Be the one who raises the temperature in the room with vision, discipline, and purpose. The kind of energy you give out will attract those who are walking in the same direction. Your life is too important to let it be shaped by careless company. Choose wisely. Guard aggressively, and walk boldly in the direction of your purpose, surrounded by people who push you to become your best. Time is the most valuable currency you will ever possess. It's more valuable than money, talent, or opportunity, because once it's gone, it can never be regained. Every second you live is a second you'll never get back. And yet, so many people live as though they have forever. They procrastinate, delay their dreams, waste hours in distractions, and wonder why nothing changes. But the truth is simple. How you use your time is a direct reflection of how seriously you take your life. Success is not a mystery, it's a result. And that result comes from what you do daily. Not once in a while, not when you feel like it, but every day, in the quiet, disciplined choices you make with your time. The person who masters their time masters their future, because time is life. The tragedy is that many people are busy but not effective. They are constantly moving but not progressing. They fill their schedule but not their purpose. Time management isn't just about doing more. It's about doing what matters. You don't need more hours in the day. You need to stop giving your best hours to things that don't move your life forward. The key is to become ruthless about your priorities. Not everything deserves your attention. Not every invitation deserves a yes. Not every demand is an emergency. You must learn to protect your time like you protect your money, because it's actually more precious. Be clear about what matters most and align your schedule with it. If your time doesn't reflect your values, then your values are just theories. Real values show up in what you make time for. You also need to break free from the illusion of "I'll do it later." Later is not guaranteed. Tomorrow is not promised. The dream you delay becomes the dream you bury. Every day you postpone action, you're silently saying your vision isn't important. But greatness doesn't wait. Excellence doesn't negotiate. If something matters, start now. Even if it's small, even if it's messy, start. Because the habit of starting kills the habit of waiting. People who succeed aren't more talented than others. They're just more consistent with their time. While others sleep in, they rise with purpose. While others scroll endlessly, they study, plan, build. While others waste weekends, they use them to refine their skills, reflect, and grow. Success is built in the unseen hours. Those quiet moments where no one is clapping, but you're still showing up. Mastering your time also means creating structure. A chaotic schedule creates a chaotic life. If you leave your day to chance, you've already lost. You must have a plan. You must have boundaries. You must block time for deep work, rest, growth, and reflection. Without structure, time slips through your fingers, and you'll look back wondering where it all went. But time mastery isn't just about productivity. It's about purpose. Why are you doing what you're doing? Time invested without purpose is still wasted. Every hour should be a seed planted toward the life you want to live. And that life won't happen by accident. It happens by design. You are either managing your time or being managed by other people's agendas. Eventually, the results will speak. The person who respected their time will have fruit to show for it: growth, mastery, peace, impact. The person who wasted their time will have regret, frustration, and empty potential. You have a choice every day: spend your time or invest it. One brings pleasure, the other brings purpose. One fades quickly, the other lasts forever. If you want to become the best, you must stop living like you have forever. Start living like every minute matters, because it does. Don't let another day pass by casually. Choose with intention, act with urgency, and master your time like your future depends on it, because it absolutely does. If there's one skill that separates winners from wishers, it's self-discipline. Not talent, not intelligence, not luck, but the ability to do what needs to be done even when you don't feel like doing it. Discipline is the bridge between goals and achievement. It's the silent force behind every great accomplishment, every consistent habit, every person who has ever broken free from average and stepped into greatness. Self-discipline means you take control of your emotions instead of letting your emotions control you. It's choosing delayed gratification over immediate comfort. It's saying no to distractions so you can say yes to destiny. And that's not easy, because your feelings will constantly lie to you. Your mind will offer you excuses. Your body will crave comfort. But self-discipline silences those voices and chooses commitment over convenience. The disciplined person isn't always motivated, but they always show up. Motivation is a wave. It comes and goes. But discipline, that's a foundation. It holds strong whether the storm is here or not. If you only work when you're inspired, you'll never be consistent. And if you're never consistent, you'll never grow. Discipline is what builds momentum. It's what separates amateurs from professionals, dreamers from doers. You must learn to keep promises to yourself. Every time you say, "I'll do it tomorrow," and don't, you lose trust in yourself. You begin to see yourself as unreliable, and slowly that self-doubt eats away at your potential. But when you choose discipline, you build self-respect. Each time you act with discipline, you prove to yourself that you can be counted on. That's how confidence is born. Not through hype, but through evidence. Self-discipline isn't just about routines and grind. It's about clarity. When you're clear on your purpose, discipline becomes easier. It's hard to stay committed to a vague goal, but when you truly know why something matters, you'll fight for it, even when it's hard. Purpose fuels discipline. When your reason is strong enough, your excuses get weaker. The world rewards the disciplined. You see it in athletes who train for years for one moment, in writers who rise early to finish the page, in leaders who study, prepare, and resist the shortcuts. Discipline might not be glamorous, but it's powerful. It's the inner fire that pushes you when the applause fades, when no one's watching, when everything inside you wants to quit. And discipline isn't only about the big moments. It's built in the small decisions. Waking up early when it's easier to sleep, choosing the gym instead of the couch, reading a book instead of scrolling for hours, saying no to temporary pleasure so you can say yes to long-term success. It's in the details. Every time you choose the hard right over the easy wrong, you're building mental muscle. You're becoming stronger. Some people are waiting for the perfect time, the right mood, the ideal environment. But here's the truth: conditions will never be perfect. Discipline doesn't wait for permission. It acts, it shows up, it pushes through, and eventually it creates its own momentum. The more disciplined you become, the more freedom you gain. Freedom from fear, from regret, from chaos. You don't need to be the smartest, the strongest, or the most connected. But if you can master yourself, your habits, your impulses, your distractions, you become unstoppable. Because once you can lead yourself, nothing can lead you off course. So stop negotiating with your goals. Stop letting your feelings decide your future. Start showing up day after day with discipline as your companion. Your future self is waiting, and it's counting on the decisions you make today. Build the discipline now, and you will live a life few ever reach, not because they couldn't, but because they wouldn't. But you will, because you've chosen discipline. And discipline always wins.